Hello, Army. Can a single line, spoken at the very last second of a live, really shake the entire world? That's exactly the question millions began asking the moment Jungkook's sudden live ended, leaving behind an expression that didn't look like his usual calm, playful self. Within minutes, comments exploded, timelines flooded, and the atmosphere felt charged with something deeper than anyone expected. His tone had shifted. His eyes had changed. And something in the room felt heavier. Why did his face tighten in those final seconds? Why did he stare at the screen as if debating whether to say something life-altering? And why, almost instantly after the live ended, was Taehyung suddenly seen online, as if he already knew something needed to be addressed urgently? These questions became the spark that ignited an entire global investigation. Not because of rumors or unfounded scandal, but because the emotional signs were impossible to ignore. In the hyper-fast world of entertainment, tiny moments often hide massive, unspoken truths, and this moment felt like the beginning of something that had been waiting a long time. To understand the full impact, we need to go back to the live itself, one that began normally and ended like a plot twist. At first, everything looked the same, Jungkook sitting comfortably, voice slightly hoarse but cheerful, answering comments with his usual warm smile. He talked about training, plans after military service, daily routines, the simple things fans love hearing about. But then something shifted. A comment mentioning Taehyung appeared, and that was the turning point. He paused. He looked down. He exhaled a long, heavy breath. Fans rewatched the moment hundreds of times, convinced the change wasn't accidental. His eyelids closed a little too slowly. His posture changed. The smile that followed didn't look steady, it looked forced, like he was covering something emotional rising to the surface. Then came the sentence that sent Army spiraling. "I have a few things to say, but maybe later." His voice trembled, not dramatically, but just enough that fans noticed immediately. Who was he referring to? Why say it now? And what emotion was he trying to suppress? His movements became restless. He shifted positions, rubbed his neck, stared at his screen as if searching for courage. And when he finally ended the live, it wasn't with his usual warmth. Instead, he whispered a simple "I'll be back later," but in a tone that sounded weighted, melancholic. Minutes after the live shut down, both names, Jungkook and Taehyung, began trending worldwide. Not because of rumors, but because Taehyung appeared online almost instantly. Fans noticed he seemed to be reading something intensely. No new post, no message, just silence and an online status that raised more questions. Had Jungkook contacted him immediately? Had they spoken right after the live? And did Jungkook's emotional shift have anything to do with him? Rumors escalated when a staff member close to both idols became active online shortly after, something fans always track closely. This time, it felt significant. Speculation grew wildly. Was it about group matters? Their friendship? A personal burden Jungkook had been carrying? Or something deeper, something long delayed? Then came another shock. An industry insider claimed Jungkook had been wanting to tell Taehyung something important, something about their shared past, their growth, and long-held feelings he'd never expressed fully. No confirmation, but the fandom took it seriously. Some believed he felt guilty, perhaps for distance, for silence, or for unresolved moments between them. Others thought it was gratitude so deep that he couldn't voice it easily. But the theory that gained the most traction was that it was both, a mixture of past weight and present emotion. Hours later, Taehyung posted a single landscape photo with a quiet caption. "I hear you." It was over. The fandom exploded. Every pixel was analyzed, every word dissected. And within minutes, thousands agreed that the post felt like a direct response, gentle, reassuring, and deeply personal. As fans were still recovering, the next morning delivered another hit. A small clip recorded by a staff member inside a practice building began circulating in private communities. It wasn't a scandalous leak, just a hallway view, but faint voices were heard from inside a rehearsal room. And those voices sounded unmistakably like Jungkook and Taehyung. Jungkook's tone was low and heavy, eerily similar to the end of his live. Taehyung's responses were calm, steady, almost soothing. A brief line caught by listeners sent shockwaves. "I didn't mean to keep it this long. I was just afraid of saying it wrong." It wasn't enough to reveal details, but it was enough to deepen the mystery. Something had been held inside for a long time. Something difficult to express. And whatever it was, Jungkook had finally reached a point where he couldn't hold it anymore. For 2 days, fans watched their online behavior intensely. Jungkook went quiet, completely quiet. No posts, no comments. Meanwhile, Taehyung seemed peaceful, composed. Analysts pointed out the contrast: Jungkook processing, Taehyung understanding. The fandom divided into theories. Was it guilt? Was it gratitude? Was it emotional confession of another kind? But the majority believed it was a mix of everything, the complexity of years spent together under the harsh spotlight, with joys, distance, silence, and unspoken support shaping their bond. Then came the moment that changed everything. Taehyung posted a short voice note. Just a few seconds. No music. No background noise. Just breathing, and a soft, warm sentence. "You have nothing to fear. I'm always here." 6 words that felt like 100. The internet broke. Fans cried. Analysts immediately weighed in, saying such a message wasn't random, it signaled strong emotional trust. At this point, the question that started it all returned, louder than ever. What did Jungkook finally reveal? Was it an apology? A long-buried truth? A confession of pressure and fear? Or something tied to their shared history that only they understand? Only the two of them know the exact words. But the clues, expressions, online behavior, whispers, posts, and that voice note paint a clear picture. Something heavy had been carried for a long time, and Jungkook finally let it out. And Taehyung, as always, received it with calm understanding. Now the world waits. No official statements. No agency clarification. No follow-up live. Just silence and an emotional tension that keeps millions watching. Will Jungkook explain one day? Will Taehyung drop another clue? Or will this remain a quiet truth shared only between them? One thing is certain, that night didn't end a story, it opened a new chapter. One built on sincerity, raw honesty, and a connection deeper than anything fans have seen in years. And the biggest question still echoing around the world is: what exactly was the emotional truth Jungkook finally told Taehyung?